Giants.
The A's, the Angels, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to another edition of Sports Talk, and we are here and live as always, hoping to hear from somebody. If they would give us a call, it'd be 203-753-7593 is the number here. We'd love to hear from you. My dad, Norm LaMadeleine, all the way to my right, your left, and Marty Mad Dog Murphy in the middle. I'm Matt LaMadeleine. Welcome to the show. We are Brass City Community Television. And as always, we'd like to thank Mike Albini and Big Al Coles in the back to helping us out and taking care of us, making us look as good as they possibly can. Although it's an impossible job when it comes to my looks.
Gives you a little color in your hair.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you
Don't
what.
worry, I'm starting to get gray again.
Yeah.
We'll be all white pretty soon.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Marty's the only one with dark hair these days, and boy, we know that it's whatever. We'll leave it at that.
We have some before and afters.
Yes, we have a bunch of before and afters, right? We will not be here next week because I'm on vacation, so I'm looking forward to heading down to Virginia Beach for a few days. But we will be back on the 8th, and when we come back, or the 8th, or whatever that is, the first full week of August, I guess that is, our second week of August, right? And by then, believe it or not, boys, the NFL season will have kicked off with the Hall of Fame game, and they're going to have their own future Hall of Famers, Drew Brees and Adam Vinatieri I saw, which is awesome, Larry Fitzgerald. Among others, but we'll get to that when the football season actually starts.
Yeah,
they do that Hall of Fame game in Canton, and nobody cares about preseason anyways, and all that stuff.
That's a fun game to go see.
Yeah, I would love to go see it, but I've never been to Canton, but I would like to make a road trip out there at some point. The Canton Bulldogs and all that good stuff in the NFL.
My uncle Ken brought my father in the meeting. And I was meeting him and my cousin at the Hall of Fame for the Hall of Fame game in Canton.
Nice.
My cousin,
nice.
my uncle lives in Kentucky.
Oh, cool.
In Cleveland, so.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Yeah, we went out to Cleveland one time while I was actually Sandusky, Ohio.
Yeah, Sandusky.
Yeah, we had a good time out in Cleveland for a night. I guess you could talk. It's a pretty good segue that you can talk about Cleveland and LeBron James, although he's not signing with Cleveland. It was talked about again, going back to Cleveland, but he's decided on the 76ers for a 2-year deal worth about $8 million.
Yeah,
which
he took the minimum.
Yeah, he took the minimum, but they also said in the next line in the article I was reading, said he made $53 million this past basketball season. So if LeBron James is hurting for money, then shame on him, but I don't think he is. Right? All he needs to do is come out with a new sneaker. But he's going to be with the 76ers, and boy, Philadelphia has another favorite son.
Oh,
and we'll see if they could turn things around. And that,
well, they did. 76ers went all right. They made the playoffs, so maybe all you need is just a little bit more.
Well, you know what? It's like everything else, right? We talked about, my dad and I were talking about how the Bucks signed Tom Brady, and look at, they got
a Super Bowl out of it.
They got a Super Bowl championship out of it. Yeah. But think about this. Honestly, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer. How many jerseys are they going to sell? How much merchandise are they going to sell?
And
the Sixers will be sold out every single time you see them now, and that makes it worth the $8 million. Let's face it.
But here,
win or lose.
But here's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
LeBron has not played more than 50 games a season.
Yeah, I don't think they're worried about it.
No,
and LeBron certainly isn't. He would have retired.
I'll tell you, they may not have sellout crowds. You may have people waiting to buy ticket day of the game to make sure he's playing before they waste their money to go to a game.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I'll tell you, if I lived in Philly and I was a fan, that's what I was doing. I want to make sure before what they charge for tickets before I'm spending that kind of money to for a ticket to go to a game, he better be playing. If he's not playing, I'm not spending their money.
Right.
Well, that's hearsay. But the Knicks beat the Sixers, right? I'm trying to think.
The Knicks
they
dropped the
swept-
Sixers, yes.
They, they swept them.
They
didn't
swept them,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Okay,
one
so
of the
that's
teams
what
they
happened. At least
swept,
maybe the playoffs. Maybe
Yeah.
they just need that extra player now.
Yeah. You know, that's the
Maybe
thing
that's all it
is,
takes. Yeah.
you know, I agree. You know what? I was talking to my uncle, Uncle Ed, in fact, who's a huge NBA guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, you know, come on. Watch hockey instead, right? And then the Knicks made the run, and I became the biggest hypocrite of all. But he said that LeBron James is still in the top 10 of the NBA players. Because I was like, come on, LeBron should
Points
just hang it
scored
up.
and threes and all that stuff, yeah.
And he said no.
Stats.
And there you go. LeBron at 41 years old. You know, I mean,
I thought
he
they
was
said
wanted.
yeah.
He was wanted by a lot of teams, and just think about he will no doubt have the number one sold jersey this year, you know, in merchandise. There's no question about it because it's new, and you know maybe he'll change his number or whatever, right? But
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I mean he's 23, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember if there's somebody that had that number and it's retired, so he
Yeah.
can't wear it.
Yeah. Well,
Because
anyway.
then he would have to change it.
Right, then he'll just change his
Because, I
number.
mean, if I remember, that's what happened with Michael Jordan when he went
Yeah.
to the Wizards. Is
Yeah.
because I think it was Unseld for the Washington Bullets
Yeah.
that wore 23, and they retired his number. So
Okay. All right. Either way, LeBron's jersey will be the number one seller, and if it already isn't, you know, it probably already is. They had that printing press thing going immediately, right?
Yeah.
So, Dad, what do you got for the Hall of Famers?
Well, it's three people got selected Hall of Fame.
The
They were
Baseball Hall of Fame we're
inducted
talking
this
about.
week in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There was a list, and go through the list of people that were eligible. Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and first Jack Kemp.
Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kemp, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they were selected and inducted. Also, there was Chase Utley, Andy Pettit, Felix Hernandez, Ellis Rodriguez were eligible,
Yeah.
but
Did not get in.
they did not get in. No. Then there's a whole list of others: Manny Ramirez, Abreu, Rollins, Cole Hamill. So it was a long list of people that were eligible, and I guess he can only be eligible for what, 3, 4,
10
5
years now.
It's 10 years now?
Used to-
Okay, so we
used
got
to be
A-Rod and we got,
it used to be 15. They lowered it to 10.
okay, so we got Andy Pettit and Rodriguez that we want to check out. Hopefully, well, I don't know, you know,
I got some
they're
stats,
controversial.
too, so I'm gonna look 'em up.
It's too bad, but so did the three people this year. They had controversy as well, so.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Right. Well,
But-
Beltran, 435 homers and 312 steals. I didn't realize that he was, I mean, I remember him, obviously. He played his last couple of seasons with the Yankees, and then he went into Houston. And what else you got there, Dad?
Well, Beltran is a five-tool player. We can use the statistics. He's one of 8 players with both 300 home runs and 300 stolen bases.
Yeah, right.
He owns the highest career stolen base success rate ever, 86.4 among players with 200 attempts. He won 3 Gold Gloves and had a terrific arm, leading his league 4 times in assists. His single-season home run total topped out at 41, and he hit at least 30, four times, and twice he hit 29 home
Wow,
runs.
okay.
He hit 300 4 times and 290 in 3 other seasons.
Wow, all right.
So, you know, he's all around. Then in the postseason, too, he batted 307, 16 home runs, 42 RBIs, and 65 postseason games. So he's the only one with an ops over 1,000, higher than Albert Pujols, David Ortiz, or Mickey Mantle, or Reggie Jackson.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
excellent candidate. Apparently, he touched all the bases,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know,
Except Marty. Marty, of course, is going to be the Debbie Downer. What? Yeah. Yeah. What about
Carlos-
Beltran?
Carlos Beltran, what I remember about Carlos Beltran the most is his first 4 years in the league in Kansas City. He was a power hitting, single hitting, base stealing, run scoring ball player. He was one of the best young players coming up at that point.
Okay.
At that time, I thought he was. I always thought he was Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, but we were discussing how he was, his last year in Major League Baseball, 2017. he was a member of the the cheating Houston Astros, and you know what? And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is. You know, I mean, obviously they were stealing signs and they were using, you know, whatever, what knock.
Not that there was also speculation of electronic devices to
Yeah.
tip off the hitters.
Right.
I mean, they found the evidence,
Right.
and what bothered me about that whole situation was that you're not going to strip them of the World Series. That wasn't going to happen.
Right. Right.
But what bothered me the most is they let every single player skate, and they blamed the general manager and the manager and the coaching staff, and they fired all of them, and they let all the players that were the main ones doing it and taking advantage of it, and they let them all skate with no repercussion at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But they did. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We move on to Andrew Jones,
Okay, Andrew Jones.
big time
Okay.
center fielder for the Braves.
Yep.
Did spend a little time with the Yanks as well. Go ahead.
Okay, he's a lifetime. Well, actually, okay, he had 434 home runs and joins Willie Mays, Ken Griffey, and Mike Schmidt as the only players with at least 400 home runs and 10 Gold Gloves. Needless to say, these are three players in the inner circle of the circle of Hall of Fame, and Jones' defensive power combo is most succinct way to explain now he's a Hall of Famer. Of course, Jones isn't the same class as the other three, but that's why it took 9 bells to get in there.
Gotcha.
But he was, nonetheless, a consistent player. And I remember the times with the Yankees and the Braves, he was a great player.
Yeah, he was. He was a hell of a center fielder. I remember that. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
At 19 years old, he was putting on a show at Yankee Stadium with the Braves.
Yeah, it was amazing. He had to have won once or twice with the Braves.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
And I know he was there when the Yanks beat the Braves.
Yeah.
In '96. So yeah. So anyway, so he definitely has a ring or two, right? Gotta be, because he was there when
I'm almost sure
Smoltz
he
and
does.
all those guys were there, right? I mean, when they were just a powerhouse, Chipper Jones, all those guys.
Well, there's a lot of other things too. His defense was here too, and also his defense metrics used a baseball reference. Ray Jones is fourth most valuable defensive player ever, behind Brooks Robinson, Mark Bellinger, and Ozzie Smith.
Wow. Okay.
That makes him a top-rated outfielder. 30 runs better than Roberto Clemente, number 2 outfielder, and whopping 50 runs better than Mays, and the number 3 outfielder.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, he's got other things we're looking at besides batting average.
Yeah.
And that's the thing now. I think that when we do the Hall of Fame, it's not just going to be home runs and stolen bases, and it's going to be how they play the outfield as well.
Yeah.
No, well, it
Defensive,
should be,
yeah,
It
absolutely.
should be like that at every position, and I think that's one of the reasons why it took, and it's unfortunate it took the Veterans Committee to finally put Phil Rizzuto in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Because you heard Ted Williams, you heard Joe DiMaggio, you heard all these Hall of Famers say he was the greatest defensive shortstop that they ever saw, and he was the greatest punter that ever played the game.
Well, Dad, you saw Phil Rizzuto.
Oh,
play,
Rizzuto
right?
was
Of
great,
course,
yeah. You know, it's him and Pee Wee Reese, and there was several good shortstops in that time period. And it's hard to compare them because then, these are shortstops weren't the biggest hitters, but they were all around the field and, the best defensive players of all.
Yeah.
And, they averaged probably 275, 280, 276. And I think Rizzuto had 1 year over 300.
Wow.
But, he was a great defensive player. And it's always between him and Reese.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the top shortstop?
Wow, it's amazing too. You think about it. At 276, if we're just picking a number, right? If Phil Rizzuto batted 276 these days,
That's
he
clear,
would be one of the best hitters in
Yeah.
Major League Baseball.
Right.
I have to put this out there before I forget. Well, my dad and I were talking, Marty, and you might have even known this or watched a game or whatever. Friday night, Cam Schlittler for the Yankees pitched 7 dominant innings, right? 12 strikeouts. The Yankees win 1-0 on a home run by Paul Goldschmidt, right? The Yankees also struck out 12 times
Yeah.
in the game. And and my dad and I, we talk about it all the time, right, Dad? What has happened to the hitters in Major League Baseball? You know what?
It's simple.
Pitching's, I mean, that much better, I guess.
There's
No.
only 7 hitters right now that are batting 300.
It-
7 in both leagues, and 1 in the American League.
What the
Doesn't it? It just
That's
blows
it.
my mind.
Yeah, it's
what the
unbelievable.
problem is, analytics tells you launch angle for power.
Right, I know, but we
and
don't-
strike.
right.
But this is what's wrong with Major League Baseball.
Right.
You'll pay a guy umpteen $1 million to hit 217 and 50 home runs, and you'll pay a guy hitting 300 with 20 home runs as little as possible. Because he's hitting 300, he's not hitting for power.
Right. But think about a guy like Austin Wells, right? And all right, I like Austin Wells. He catches a good game, whatever. He's batting like 165.
Right.
Yeah, you can't seem to get any higher. He has a little streak, but then he goes right back down again.
And he is pretty much not our everyday catcher, right? We got Escara or whatever his name is.
Escobar, and we got Sanchez.
Right, and we got Sanchez. But can you imagine, how do you put a guy in a lineup batting 165? I mean, that's 1 in every, I don't know, 12 at bats?
What you look? I hate to say it. In back in the old days, they used to say, I don't care if my shortstop hits 200.
Right.
If he doesn't make a mistake in the field, that's what we need.
Right.
Defense down the middle.
Right.
So your catcher's part of the
Absolutely.
defense down the
I
middle.
agree, right. I
And
agree, right.
and if he can call a great game,
Right.
that's more important than if he can get a base hit.
Right. It actually, I said 1 in 12. It'd be what? 1 for 8 every time?
1 for 8,
Something like
yeah.
that? 1 for 8.
Yeah,
Before
125 is 1
yeah,
for 8.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Before we jump to something else, I'm sorry I even mentioned it, guys, but I had to get that off my chest. We got to talk about Jeff Kent as well, because
Jeff
he got
Kent.
into the Hall of Fame as well. I remember him with the Giants, but he played for the Mets. He played for a bunch of teams. I know that.
I remember him with the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this problem with some of these guys. They travel so much. That's why the Hall of Fame couldn't keep up with them. What's this guy do? He was great in San Francisco, but he was lousy in Kansas City.
Right.
Well, why did he get traded so much?
Right.
And
And we found out, by the way, that he did get traded. Jeff Kent got traded in 1992 for David Cone, which, that's awesome.
one of the
As
best
Yankee
Yankees
fans.
pitchers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two championships with the Toronto Blue Jays,
Yeah.
and then the Yankees picked them up and perfect game and all this other stuff. So
I mean, if you sit there, and you look at it, David Cone should be in Hall of Fame. He should be.
he may be.
His numbers, his win numbers, his all his stat numbers tell you, because of injuries and stuff, he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. But he took Kansas City to the World Series. He took Toronto to the World Series. He took the Yankees to the World Series.
At least once, right?
And he
Maybe
pitched
twice.
well for the Mets. I remember he was dominant with
Mets-
the Mets way
Mets
back
too,
when.
yeah.
He actually had a stint in Boston, right? Didn't he end with
I
Boston?
think he did.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
if I remember right, he won 2 World Series in Toronto.
Yeah.
He won 2 with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I think he either won 1 with Kansas City or 1 with the Mets. I think he has 5 rings, but he won them on 3 different teams.
Yeah. Amazing. So anyways, so back to Jeff Kent, Dad. I'm sorry. I keep staring us off
Well, I know.
off the ledge.
Well, everything crosses together. There's links everywhere.
Right.
And baseball. These are all well-traveled players.
Absolutely.
You know,
All
they're,
3 of them. Wow.
they're not like the Yankees of old
Hey,
or the
how
Dodgers
long-
of old. Dodgers now, they're staying one team and that's it. They build up in that team. They build up stats. When you start moving around like that, people can't keep track of you anymore.
Right?
And that's what happened with Jack Kemp.
How many years did it take him before he got elected in?
Well, let's see. To his age, 28 season, he was 28. Can't be 28 season. Jeff Kent is one of the unlikeliest Hall of Famers. So through his age 28 season, he compiled an 10.8 career WAR among Hall of Fame position players who debuted in the 20th century. Only Dave Ortiz, Bill Terry, Earl Averill, Sam Rice, and Jackie Robinson have had less career WAR, not counting major leaguers as a WAR. We talk about WAR.
It's another new stat
This
in
is-
baseball.
this is an
that
ESPN
I-
stat, right?
We're above replacement.
Yep. I
And
wins above replacement.
yeah,
Oh,
wins above replacement.
I have no idea what it
Whatever,
is.
yeah.
It's another made-up Major League Baseball
Yeah,
stat.
I know for a fact because I remember when Jeff Kemp first came up.
Yeah.
I remember when they were just watching like ESPN and
Yeah,
stuff, and,
yeah,
and discussing the chances of getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They had him on the list of questionable steroid users.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's part of that's why I was wondering how long it took him to get in because I had that feeling they made him wait too.
Right. Okay.
Well, he does have good numbers, though. If you look at this, the next part of it, he finished with 377 home runs, 1,518 RBIs, 290 batting average, ranking first all-time among second basemen in home runs, third in RBIs behind Matt LaJoie and Roger Hornsby, and sixth behind runs scored behind Hornsby, Eddie Collins, LaJoie, Joe Morgan, and Charlie Gehringer. So he's up there as far as the numbers.
okay,
You know, it's just that he was so traveled, I think. it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
I think his greatest strength was he was batting behind Barry Bonds. Kent rose to a higher level. The Giants become one of the best hitting second basemen of all time. While Kent and Bonds were exactly best buddies, they formed a legal middle of the order for the Giants. And Kent, with Bonds on base, was so often in front of him, turned it into an RBI machine.
Okay.
So he deserves it. You know, the thing is, now we're looking at different things. I was really surprised because usually they talk about these numbers. We talk
Yeah,
about Bernie
right,
Williams
right.
and his great numbers, and he's still not in.
Right.
And now we're looking at other things, and we should be looking at a lot of things. And Bernie Williams had Gold Gloves and everything else. And
Yeah.
Mattingly too. We were talking about Mattingly and at the Phillies game yesterday. You know, this guy had numbers, great numbers.
I think the problem with Don Mattingly is that he didn't have enough seasons, right? Because of his bad back. And
Now-
I mean, he's my favorite Yankee of all time.
Now,
You know, and Bernie Williams, that befuddles me completely.
Well,
Bernie Williams was a great Yankee, had incredible postseason numbers, was just steady.
I mean,
His whole career with the Yanks, right? So did Don
Yeah.
Mattingly.
18 home runs in postseason,
That's what I'm saying,
4
yeah.
Grand Slams or something
Right,
like that,
right,
and
right.
high batting average, over 300.
And he never became one of the core 4. There should have been core 5.
yeah, that's what it should have been.
He
yeah.
was there
She had
first.
Fab 5.
Yeah, the Fab
Yeah,
5,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry. We're just jumping all over the place about this Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Baseball makes me crazy with all the
One-
stats.
one-
I don't even know what you're talking about that with the war.
I know
I'm
these
sorry,
stats are
I don't.
WAR. That's the first
Wins
time.
above replacement. That is ridiculous.
one of the things that gets me is if you put Kirby Puckett's numbers up against Mattingly's numbers,
Yeah.
they're the exact same numbers.
Okay.
And
Kirby Puckett was great.
yeah, but everybody said Kirby Puckett, like Mattingly, was a questionable Hall of Famer.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he passes away, and all of a sudden he's a Hall of Famer.
Right, right.
I mean, a player should not have to wait to die in order to get in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with you. I'm with you.
Well,
And
our
I'll tell
all-time
you,
favorite Ken Stabler
yeah,
had to die
Ken
too.
Stabler too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
and like I
sure.
and like
he
I
had better numbers than Joe Namath, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Big time.
and like I said, it wasn't this year, but I guarantee you within the next 2 years, Pete Rose will get looked in the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
because quote unquote he had a lifetime ban from Major League Baseball. He's not alive anymore, so now he's eligible to go into the Hall of Fame.
Right. And let's face it, he did everything he needed to do on the ball field. You know, let's face it, most of these guys are far from perfect individuals, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Charlie Hustle, man, I remember the end of his career. I saw, even just his last few years with the Phillies. Boy, he still hustled in his late 30s.
Oh, yeah.
He played into his 40s, I
Yeah.
think, right?
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he had to make sure he had the most hits in Major League Baseball.
Right. Well, Dad, there was one other thing before. I know that, my dad is always prepared for the show. I want you to, can we do the power rankings real quick?
Yeah, it's a good thing
Yeah,
because
let's
right
do the
now,
power rankings real quick. and
because they
then-
had the Red Sox,
Right.
tremendous. The Red
Right.
Sox have come up from I had the numbers. They're right now they're 19-3 in the last 21 games. They had the best July of probably any team. They had a 15
Look out
winning
for the
streak.
Sox, man. They're gonna,
Right, they
you
had
know.
5 games against the Yankees.
Yeah.
So they are now number 9. But Dodgers is number 1. They're 65-38. This is from before the weekend.
Yeah.
The Brewers are number 2. The Braves number 3. The Rays number 4. Yankees number 5. Cubs number 6. Phillies number 7. Number 8 is the White Sox. 9 the Red Sox. 10 the Guardians. 11 the Mariners. 12 the Pirates. 13 the Mariners, and all the others are below 500.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's
All right.
that's the power rankings as of right now. What would I have? Okay, yeah. So the Red Sox are have the best record. They had there's something else on. Yeah, they're 54. They're 54-50. So they're 19-3 since June 28th.
Wow. It's amazing. They really are. They
Yeah,
just,
they were way down. They're
Yeah.
like, and their leading hitter now is Contreras, batting .288, 22 home runs and 66 RBIs.
yeah,
So
it-
he's their best player.
it's amazing to me too because they, I think I mentioned this last week, or I don't remember, but one of my buddies was telling me, back at the beginning of June, he said, "Look out for these guys."
Well, yeah,
because he's a big Red Sox fan. I was laying into him, you guys suck, blah 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 blah, right? He's like, "Listen, man," he goes, "you may not know any of these guys, but you're gonna know some of their names by the end of the year." And he goes, "Look out." And you know what? With the
Everybody.
wild cards and all the expanded playoffs,
And right now they are the last wild card.
yeah. Didn't take them long either. And the American League sucks right
yeah?
now, to
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest with you. There's 4 teams or 5 teams over 500. That's it.
That's it. 5
Yeah.
teams
So
there.
we're going to have
Yeah,
playoff
yeah.
teams that may be under 500
Oh, yeah.
this year,
Well,
which would be a crime.
No,
With
I-
162 games played.
I thought we had at least 1 or 2 teams last year that were
Yeah.
under
Yeah,
500.
yeah. I don't know.
There
But-
will be. Yeah,
yeah.
especially in the American League. There will
Yeah.
be
Oh yeah,
some teams under 500.
yeah,
absolutely.
because you only have 5 teams that are over 500. That means there's 7 wild card teams. There's 7 teams altogether. So you can have 2 teams playing under 500 ball that are going to get into the playoffs.
Guys, we're done. So I
think
have to
bananas?
mention, I have to mention one
Oh.
thing: Banana Ball. I went to see it in Hartford the other day, and boy, if you get a chance to watch it, it's a lot of fun. And definitely go. Bring your kids too. But it's very loud. It's very, very loud.
Very
So-
entertaining too, though.
Yeah, very entertaining. So for my dad, Norm LaMadeline, Marty Mad Dog Murphy, I'm Matt LaMadeline. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Enjoy your sports.